legit. But
Legit. That's legit. That's legit.
Legit. I'm legit going back to the crab.
it legit, like,
I will legit like a legit.
That was legit.
I did break a nail. It hurt.
I broke a nail.
I'm trying to open a can of beer, and
You ever open up a can of beer and break your nails?
yes, I just
you know
did.
what? As a man, no, I have not.
All right.
Lie.
I'm going to open this beer, and we're going to have it.
What is it?
He doesn't know.
It's not properly sealed, so I'm hoping it's not, like, destroyed.
How's it not properly sealed?
I don't know. It's, like, leaking from the... Maybe the can thing didn't work.
Oh.
Something you get today?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
It should be fine, yeah. So we were driving around. I had to go to Golden for work, and
Work.
it was work.
Well, whatever.
We
Work that you do on your knees.
I got to walk through, really nice house and show some clients, but took the fam with me, and we were looking for a place after lunch to kind of just chill because, we're in Golden. Might as well hang out. And we came across this place called
Coors Brewery.
Barrels and Bottles Brewery. And they actually have 2 locations in Golden. And we were on our way to Coda Brewery, and we passed by this one, and we're like, it doesn't look very busy. Let's go in there. And we were pleasantly surprised. Like, Stacy had a wine slush, which she really liked.
Weird.
And I had to take this one home because I really liked it. So this is a wee heavy that is barrel aged. So it's a barrel aged wee heavy called I'd Rather Die Happy, and it is a collab with Joyride, actually.
Interesting.
10.1%.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
And I really
Jesus in my mouth.
I really like wee heavies. I mean, I had my first one at Dry Dock.
Yeah.
And when it said barrel aged wee heavy, I was like, yeah, let's do this.
So people don't know what a wee heavy is. What how would you describe that?
No, I don't have no idea.
Right.
It's
a fat
it's a
Scottish
brown. Yeah, it's kind of like a Scottish ale. I don't know. I could probably look it up real quick, but
With your glasses.
I do have to have my glasses on.
I like that. It's good flavor.
Different.
That means he doesn't like it. Oh, it does say it's a Scotch ale. So it's
kind of.
it's like another name for Scotch ale,
I was gonna say it's kind of in. It's like
which I like Scotch and I like ale.
Yeah.
So what's not to like?
Scotch.
Oh,
It doesn't taste like Scotch.
It's just.
I wish it was like a peaty Scotch ale.
Oh,
Yeah, smoky Scotch.
oh gross!
Yes,
I hate peaty scotches.
I hate Scotch.
So
Scotch.
that would have do my bad.
Not even like a little bit of smoke or a little bit of heat.
No.
Oh God.
I don't mind the heat, like
Here-
peppery.
here's
like if
the-
it's peppery,
Here's the coffee
whiskey,
guy.
I love.
This is like saying you hate half of all the good coffee.
But I'll have a chicory coffee.
You're weird.
No.
Is it made with peat?
No,
Does it taste like?
it's me with chicory.
Does it taste like you lick a swamp?
No.
Huh. Okay. Well, there you go.
I like things that are like beer, not
This is-
Scotch.
This is kind of like a little bit smoky, a little bit like
It is.
roasty, a little bit alcohol-y, probably because of the barrel.
It's all
age.
right. It's not great, but it's fine. I'll drink it.
I like it.
Well, I'm glad I brought it for you, Josh.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you thinking of us.
I
being like,
I was like,
hey.
I'm going to top 3 later. I might as well
Oh,
pick up
Yeah.
some beer.
That's great. Hey, I appreciate that.
And I've never been there before, and they were super nice. And
Cool. We like nice brews.
yeah.
I went to another Golden Brewery the other day when I was up there for work. It was the only, or like the first dedicated gluten-free brewery.
Not right.
And what?
Not right.
I don't know. I had a brown ale there. It was good.
Interesting. I don't think I've yet to have a gluten-free beer.
It didn't taste
Not
much.
a
It didn't taste
rolling
much
bridge
different.
or bridge roller or whatever that.
Rolling Rock.
No,
Oh, Bridgewater.
something like I don't know. Like people who drink that know exactly what it is. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried it. I was like, no.
Yeah. Well, welcome in, guys. My name is Paul Peroses. We've got Anson Young, Josh not on Twitter.
Tweaker.
Yeah.
Tweaker.
Twatter.
Josh is not a tweaker.
You don't know that.
No, that's true. You had it pretty good. Well, most.
How are we doing today? I mean, it's the same day. We
my
record.
my contact is all dumb.
I've noticed you've been.
hate-
Yeah, it's like all. I
hate
look
that.
over at Anson and he's just like all fuzzy and gross. I mean,
That's normal.
I know, but
think
like
it's working
even
fine.
grosser than normal.
I think it's working fine.
Well, my fingers are so buttery and popcorny. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm not gonna go and like just deal with it.
Did you need to go wash your hands, Josh?
No.
Okay.
And we just finished a popcorn episode. I don't know
Yum.
how I'm going to release these. So
You
it
should
could be
reverse
before
these.
it. Yeah. Just make it all weird.
Yeah,
It's annoying. You know, Johnson will be annoyed by that. Oh, I'm going
you should do it then. And let it be so.
And done.
This is coming out first.
And, yeah, if you join the Discord, you'll probably see him. Great. Why do you do this backwards?
Yeah.
Ask the voice. He would know. I don't know.
Yeah.
He'll go and gripe.
He's their most.
I know he's been
feedbacky-
playing Vanguard. Well, he was.
He was.
Now he's
Now he's on
PoE.
PoE.
Ugh. But you haven't even joined us for Vanguard.
Wait, now he's playing what?
He was playing Vanguard.
The PoE. What's it say?
Path of Exile.
There you go.
Oh,
It's like a.
Crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a game.
sounds
It-
familiar.
It looks really boring and like I.
Oh,
It's too involved.
oh,
Yeah.
one of those, huh?
Yeah, way too.
No, I haven't been playing Vanguard. I went through the entire BioShock series.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you were talking about it. Did you finish?
I did, yeah.
And
I was like,
disappointed.
no, I was really surprised. Like 1 and 2 were good.
Yeah.
They just have their age. Like, I think 1 came out in like
Yeah.
2006 or something. I did get the remastered one, so they're a little bit like upgraded. And then I played Infinite, which I was blown away by. Like,
Infinitely blown away.
I was infinitely blown
Really?
away. It had like a lot of really good. You can kind of see the vision of a lot of the things that they were trying to do. Now they fell on their face on like some of it,
Sure.
but the grand vision, like when you appreciate that, or some of the things that they set up that they like make you look at, and you're like, like this, like the concept is really cool and the story is cool and whatever. So I was actually really surprised. And then then in the DLC you go back to underwater, you go back to Rapture with the new like upgraded graphics engine and stuff. And I was like, man, if BioShock 1 and 2 were like this, like fidelity, they're this good.
Making another BioShock.
They are now, yeah.
Okay.
And a movie or something, or a TV series or something.
Something like that.
Because
what's
old is
Right.
is
again,
recanned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that.
but I'm still like you bought Vanguard,
I did.
and
I haven't dropped in on
I haven't dropped in on the new Warzone either.
Warzone. Yeah.
But I mean, like we've been playing Vanguard, and it's fun. And zombies are finally out,
yeah.
even though the zombie one that I
Are
want a
you
new
angry?
map already.
Yeah. It's dumb. All
It's
right.
horrible.
Here, I'm going to give you a hint of, and I'm going to play a little audio. I'm going to play a hint of the kind of the theme.
Just a hint of cheese.
A hint of cheese.
Go join your friends, you wiggles.
There you go. Okay. I know. Is that your
Just a
choice?
bunch of mixes.
It's
Is
not
that-
my choice. It would have been if we had gone a certain way. Like I had backups for this episode.
You don't know what that was?
No.
How do you not know?
It's Goonies.
It's Goonies.
Oh, I was thinking you're doing a mix up or something. Oh, I know that part.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't hear that? Yeah. Baby Ruth.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that does go into the theme of that. Even that show goes into like this theme.
Yeah.
What is the theme?
Weird 80s movies.
Okay, yeah, it totally goes into that. Like, you always want to be like, oh, I want to live in Oregon because there's got to be a ship somewhere, wherever the hell
Right.
they are.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a
buried-
treasure
buried
behind
treasure
every corner.
with like a cool tunnel system and
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah, now because my kids love it too, so it's just fun to pop it in once in a while and enjoy that again.
I get the
pop it in.
pop it in. He just pops it in real quick.
We have a DVD of it.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Explain.
Wow.
actually, my kids sometimes
Explain yourself.
Yeah, Anyways,
When
my daughters really don't know. My youngest
have-
daughter doesn't know what it is.
I do not have a way of playing a DVD in this house.
Oh, we have the Xbox. That's
I
why-
do through Xbox. Yep. That's it.
I could. I have a DVD writer
Okay.
that's not even plugged in, but it's in a box.
Okay.
I
So you could.
Technically, I could probably take that out, find a computer, and hook it up ish,
Hook it up ish.
or I just like rent it for $4.99.
Yeah, that's true. Do you get the thing where like I'll sit my son down and I'll try to get him to watch something that's like iconic, and he'll just be like, "What is this?" And then sometimes it's either like total apathy, like don't give a shit,
Yeah.
or it's this is the best thing I've ever watched. And we sat down and we watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and I thought it was going to be in the first category, and it was over, and he's like, "That's top 3 movie right there." He's like,
Nice.
top 3.
So my
And it was total surprise.
I've sat him down to watch a couple things, and he's just like, "I hate you. Get away from me. What are you doing in my house?"
who are you?
I know your dad's friend, but this is weird.
So you're Josh.
It's funny you talk about Monty Python because this week Gabe started bringing that up. One of his teachers, English teacher or something like that, had them watch Holy Grail in class.
Dun,
And,
dun, dun, dun.
So he's like, I really want to watch Life of Brian. I'm like, okay.
Even
Life of Brian's
even
not
the
the greatest.
spanking scene and everything from Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Wow,
And which I don't.
you guys are getting weird in your schools over here.
Well, yeah, I'm over there. Never mind. So
Dun, dun,
Step
dun,
away.
dun.
Just step away.
yeah. So that's I don't know. I thought that was a fun way to introduce.
Yeah.
It was either going to be like, okay, we're going to go this route, and I'm going to choose Goonies as my movie, or we're going to go a different route, and I'm going to go
So
these other
So
movies.
did you go Goonies?
he
No,
did.
I did not.
He's faking us head fake. Oh, actually, it's Goonies. But the cool thing about the 80s to me was there was just so many chances taken on just the weirdest stuff that you've ever seen in your entire life. In the 90s, like early 90s, kept up with that theme a little bit, and then everything just started kind of getting just rehashed.
It was like early 90s, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like 95 started rolling,
Yeah.
98, and you're like,
You would never see some of these movies ever tried
Right.
or made. And some of them are just cult classics. Like they didn't hit until 20 years after they were made.
yeah.
And then some of them were
God,
instant.
like I'm just going through like, oh, is that 80s? Oh, yep, that's 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, that's 80s.
And there's just so many weird movies that like I have like 5 in my head
Yeah.
that I'm still trying to grab down and pull down for this
Yeah,
episode.
I think we'll we could talk about those weird movies, and I think that on this particular episode, I don't think there's anything wrong with us talking about multiple movies,
Yeah.
but settling on like our favorite of that group. So I'm just gonna, like Howard the Duck. What the hell
that
was
was
on that? We watched that as kids, and we thought it was entertaining, but like
Yeah.
I rewatched it as an adult,
yeah.
and I'm like, what the
I need to
actual
watch it.
hell is wrong with this movie?
I need to watch it again because I haven't watched it since I was probably like
Like some
12.
weird alien duck people are like trying to screw humans, and like it's
Well,
the weird.
okay. So
okay.
wasn't Howard the Duck like pretty much the first Marvel movie?
Yeah,
Because he's a Marvel
he is.
character.
But see, I never knew that until way later.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
till I
they
think
killed him after that show came out.
they
He'll
killed
never
him.
come back.
I think he's coming back. I don't know.
Yeah, another show would be fun to talk about: weird '80s TV shows like Alf, or something like that. you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there were so many like I feel like there was just so many more chances taken. Like you could absolutely just fall on your face and then get up and make like another movie.
Right.
Like studios were just throwing money at it. Even though you'd watch like behind the movie and you see how hard it was to make some of these movies, even though now they're just such instant classics like Ghostbusters or something, where you're literally like that comes out of left field. It has so many iconic weird things. And then, but you look at how hard it was to actually make, and maybe my entire theory of how easy it was just to fall on your face goes out the window.
Right.
But there was so much stuff that came out that you're just like,
Yeah,
what is this?
so brilliant.
And yeah, I'm just going through on my phone going, you start like, oh, this, and this. Because I've been my mindset has been on one direction, not the band.
The band.
I
Yes.
couldn't tell you what a song they sung.
The band. You could tell us how cute they are in order though. The boys.
I don't know who they are.
Okay.
But I'm like, oh yeah, 80s, early 90s.
Yep.
But it follows what you guys just said.
Yep.
80s. I'm like, oh, huh.
There's there's a bunch, and I'm kind of excited. I haven't chosen one.
I haven't chosen. Well,
excited.
I have an idea of two that I'd like,
Yeah,
but I'm also going for the I remember.
right.
Three.
So I have a list. I have a list of a bunch of them that I pulled up too. I think I'm going to settle for one because it's so weird. But I had one Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That
Falls that falls in that category.
Yeah,
I watched that
so
movie.
Weird.
The first time I ever watched that movie was in Parker when Parker was nothing.
Like
Nothing up there.
Yeah.
yeah, Anson lived there
I was out here.
back then.
Yeah.
So did Sarah.
I was
Yeah,
here.
so that's a very, very weird.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
That's
Because they're alien clowns, aren't
that's
they?
like 83, 84
It
though.
was 88, I believe.
Yeah,
88. It released in 88.
Yeah, every single one in the 80s that are on these lists are one after the other. They're just weirder than the other.
Yeah,
You're just
this was such a weird one where they would capture their victims to suck their blood, but they would put them in a cocoon of cotton candy.
Yeah.
You know,
Is there a list I could put up on the TV
and
and we can go through if there's a really good list or something?
I haven't found a super good list. I found a couple lists.
if
that
you
I've
pull
went
up
through.
the list called Weird 80s Movies on IMDb, it has a pretty good list of stuff.
All right, let me
Oh, there it is. Okay, I found that. Okay, so who's gonna go first on this?
Well, I'm gonna pull up some weird 80s movies. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Where am I? I'm in the basement.
So I'm just gonna list I'll settle on one because I know I'm pretty sure which one I'm gonna settle on. But yeah, Killer Clowns from Outer Space was incredibly weird.
The Hoboken Chicken Emergency. What?
Yeah.
Howard the Duck.
Okay, don't just name them off till we get started here.
Oh well, no. I'm just so look, Gremlins.
So Paul, does that mean you're going first then?
I mean, sure, it doesn't matter.
All right,
Yeah, but there are so
let's go.
Oh God, Pee Wee.
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. We watched that as kids, and then we watched it a little bit later, a couple years later, and we're like, "Was that dude a pedo?"
Yeah.
It's super weird.
Earth Girls Are Easy. Oh my goodness.
All right, so I'll give my number one.
Okay.
Okay.
But then I want to talk about a couple others that are just super weird.
All right.
We enjoyed. So Labyrinth is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my lit.
So that's a Jim Henson movie. So it's like a cross
It's right
between.
there.
Is it?
Number
Yeah,
19.
right. It's number 19 on this
I
list.
didn't get all the way down to that list.
1986.
Yeah, so released in 1986. Jim Henson, the Muppet guy,
Yep.
made this movie, and it was this weird experimental movie that had 80s rock themed hair
Yes.
people and out
And
of
then-
space stuff, and then
David Bowie
Yeah, David
Muppets,
Bowie's
yep.
in it.
and Jennifer Connelly. Oh wow.
Yep.
yeah, it was a fantastically weird.
Oh yeah,
Movie.
it's so good.
Yeah. So I think that perfectly fits in the weird category and
Yes.
experimental phase
Yes.
of everything that goes on. And I think it was a good movie as well.
Yeah.
So that's my number one.
Dark Crystal was in my, in the cloud of 5 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely weird. One of the ones that I love personally, I mean, my brother and sister never watched it, was Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
That's
Such
that's
That's
so
just so
good.
weird.
It was like a precursor to Mortal Kombat. That's how I've always thought of it.
Yeah.
Just this weird, these weird characters that had special abilities.
Yeah.
And one ninja could do electricity out of his.
I remember the dude
Isn't that
like
Spielberg?
Did Spielberg do Big
that's-
Trouble in Little China?
No, Labyrinth.
No, that's not Spielberg. That's
David Bowie's
that's
in the
George
middle.
Lucas.
George
Yeah.
Lucas. Thank you.
George Lucas, yeah.
God, he did that.
I guess.
Well, John Carpenter did Big Trouble in Little China. Is that what we're talking about?
No, I think he's still on Labyrinth.
Oh gosh.
I'm looking at all the photos.
He's stuck in Labyrinth.
Yeah, but it was this wonderfully weird movie that it had Kurt Russell and actually I don't know the rest of the character people that were in it, but I just remember Kurt Russell being in this movie, and it was such a crazy.
Kim Cattrall was in that movie too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
The guy Kung Lao or whatever his name was.
Uh-huh.
Feng Lao. He had the crate or Lopan or I don't know, whatever his name was. He had like the crazy like fingernails. Like they
Yeah.
were just so creepy.
Yeah, they were creepy. So that was one. I mean, there's a whole lot. I mean, we can go to everybody's top one, and then we could just like throw movies on to kind of reminisce. I think would be fun.
Throw movies on there. Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China, that sticks out like so in my mind. I remember watching it with my brothers and just being like, this is weird and awesome. And
I watched it like within the last like 4 or 5 years.
really,
And it was weird.
and I like it. It's
Yeah.
still a good movie. It still like holds up.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Who's
Josh.
going next?
I think Josh wants to go. He's busy.
So-
He's busy with his list.
I am. So actually on this list, like Flight of the Navigator.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
It's a great
That's
show.
Another one.
And I was looking at it, and I was on my phone here, and now I'm on my tablet here. What freaked me out was Sarah Jessica Parker was in. I was like, what?
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't know any of these people, but I can look at their face and be like, oh, I've seen that person. I've seen that person.
My dad went through right after my mom passed away. He went through all these movies that we watched as a family, and he started buying a whole bunch of them.
Huh.
And because we were living with him at the time, and so we would have regular movie nights
Okay.
Nice.
on a regular basis. And Flight of the Navigators was one of them, and of course you got like Goonies and a bunch
And
of
you
others.
always wanted to be that kid.
Yeah,
You're like, but why does he get the cool ship and,
right.
and all that?
So such a great movie.
So yeah, there are definitely a ton.
What did you settle on?
Yeah. What do you
So
choose?
I was looking at a couple of those, like Princess Bride,
Yeah,
great, weird. One that falls into the odd, but it's not an 80s, is Army of Darkness,
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
but it's a early 90s.
It's like horror comedy.
Right.
Which
Labyrinth.
makes it weird, yeah.
Flight of the Navigator, UHF, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I think UHF, like that was my like I think on our original criteria, like the weird like crazy plot lines or whatever, that was going to be my number one.
Nice.
But yeah,
It's got so many weird lines. I mean,
Yeah.
the Wheel of Fish.
yeah,
What's in the box? Nothing. You're so stupid.
The funny thing when that What's in a Box came out on
Yeah.
what's
SNL.
No. The movie with Brad Pitt.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, it's 7. The movie 7. And he's like, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" I'm watching it in the
You're
theater.
like nothing.
I'm in the theater, and 3 or 4 guys in the theater, including me, go nothing, and we all were like, "Nerds, nerds, nerds unite!" Yes, it was the best moment ever.
I mean, they've got like the whole like, if you lick a turtle, you can stick it on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And, the whole like, you gave me a Rolex. It's a real nice watch. Like,
Yeah.
it just there
The
is
Rambo.
Conan the librarian.
Yeah,
Oh,
Conan
I'm
the
sorry.
librarian.
This book's a little late. It's like, the Rambo one.
Yeah.
is-
Well, it's funny because like how
and we talked about it last episode.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, maybe it'd be coming episode.
How no
Could've been.
yeah, it could be. Well, like how quickly those were parodied because it was still like a couple years after Conan or after
Oh, yeah.
Rambo, and of course Weird Al would have to like parody those like immediately after.
But he does that. Like he does that
Yeah.
still.
Yeah,
So I got the weird ones, and then I was like, oh, and that's why I said like, oh, like when the military gets involved. So I had I can't think of the name. I always gotta look up.
War Games we talked about.
War Games, Short Circuit.
Oh,
Johnny number 5, right?
Short Circuit.
Like,
Was
Love that
great.
movie.
And it's like you're like, I want to be in those times. Like,
Yeah.
do I have robots doing like
Robot
actually like
friends.
useful crap, not like Alexa, turn on my lights, yay! Like like something that's like useful. Like he's got lasers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, how did we go from Johnny number 5 to Alexa? Put this on my shopping list.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't recognize your voice. Alexa, I hate you. I hate you on your shopping list. What
Yeah.
the? Oh,
Playing "I Hate You" on iHeartRadio.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Like,
Oh,
no,
that's the
stop.
worst when I tell Google to do something.
or when you're having a conversation and then like Google pops in, you're like, blah 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 blah. Well, in 1974, I'm like, Google, shut the
Google, stop.
Um,
Just stop.
So
You're embarrassing yourself.
I'm gonna go with because I had Short Circuit as like one of the, like, you know, where the military is like, oh, it's a military thing, and then it gets out and it gets all stupid. But the one I looked up, and it's not Cocoon because that's another one.
That's
Because I was like, oh, I want to be like young and or like, you know,
well, they were old.
they're forever youthful, I guess.
Right.
But I did Batteries Not Included.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Love
is
that.
like it's such a good little like I want like some cool UFO things to come out there and like, you know, fix crap for me
And it's a
and
truly
be caring.
wholesome movie, too.
It is,
Huh.
and here's it's wholesome. By the way, there's only 2 actors still alive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was looking up today. I was like, oh, dead. Oh, alive. Cool, interesting. Oh, alive. Okay, so
Good for you.
yeah, you
made
do
it.
Like
You did it.
Like, and I was just like, oh, it was interesting to look into the actor side because I remember them all being old and be like, oh, that sucks that guy died, and like some of them like died like it's like an 87, I think, and like they passed away in like 88. I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
sure.
that sucks. Like, but I think that was my one because it's like. It is a wholesome movie.
Yeah.
It is a bit weird. It is like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to have that whole situation where, you know, they're trying to help you out. They're making burgers, and you got the little, the little baby UFOs, I guess, whatever they are. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and they're just stupid. Like they remind me of my kids. Like, oh, they put a box on their head, and then they run around and they run into a wall, and they just think it's the greatest thing ever. Like, I've got the Dos Equis box. Remy put it on his head and ran around, and like he thought it was the greatest thing to like look through the holding holes. And I was like, that's just nice to have that be the joy of your day is you putting a box on your head.
Yeah.
And I just remember that movie of being like, oh, that's one of those ones that I really liked. It's one I could probably sit down and throw on the TV and like Clementine could sit down and
Totally.
there's no worries about it whatsoever.
No boobs?
No 80s random
weird.
rando 80s.
That's not it's not, you're not going to get the random 80 boobs.
Dang it.
Yeah, that movie was one that we had. So, of course, back in the day, people may not understand this, but you would have these things called VHS.
What?
And you would record movies off of HBO.
Betamax. Betamax is going to be the winner, dude.
Oh, gosh.
Laserdisc, bro.
Yeah, Laserdisc. But we would have, 4, 5, 6 movies on one VHS. Then you press, fast forward 1, 2, 3, 4, because it would skip all the way to the next.
There's that
Pause.
much room
I never
on
had that.
VHSs? Weird.
Yeah, you had LP. So long play VHSs. Yeah. And you had...
I had
Which
no
is
idea
weird because
that
I knew
existed.
the right stuff came out on 2 or 3 VHS units.
Yeah, that's because that was a marketing ploy to charge you more.
That's a great movie. That's an 80s movie.
Yeah.
It's not weird. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
It's not weird. It's not weird, but
Like Top Gun. I love Top Gun.
yeah.
Great classic 80s movie.
I don't know what to think about Maverick coming.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know what to think about
We'll
that.
see.
But
I mean, it doesn't make sense because apparently someone got on and said if this was actually true, he would have had to retire at a certain age. Like they're like, he's like, it's 2 years past. He should have been gone. So like people who know the rules are like getting all pissed off at like a movie. I'm like, come on, it's a movie.
It's a movie. Come on.
Come on. He flew an F-14 upside down and gave a Russian guy the bird. Or took his, Polaroid.
right.
Yeah.
I think you can let it slide 2 years.
Let it go.
Maverick doesn't follow the rules.
That's right. Yeah. He doesn't even follow the rules of retirement. He just shows up to work. He just keeps going.
We give him a plane. Screw that noise.
F you, Russia.
It's Maverick. So yeah, that was mine. Is I picked. I was going that because I was going down like the whole Johnny Five and
Yeah.
UHF and all. I was like, wait. There's other movies I was like, oh, it really was like not hit you in the feels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's just like
That one did, though. I mean, it had good,
it's such
really
a great
good
movie,
moments.
but it's like
yeah.
it's probably potentially underrated.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, you can put it on now and still be like, I still want to have those damn little UFOs come down and hang out. Like I'd be fine with that. Like I don't want to. I'm not fine with like living in the Bronx or wherever the hell it lived.
Yeah, it was Bronx, I believe.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It's actually San Fran.
That is San Fran. Yeah.
Really? Was it?
No,
behind you.
Oh,
There's like this like flyover of San
gotcha.
Francisco.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking
What
about?
are you guys talking about?
All right, Anson, you're up.
Yeah, yeah. So this category, having older brothers, just I've probably seen everything. Yeah. I've seen everything, man. But I do miss like the period where you'd go to Blockbuster or even not even Blockbuster. If it was like if it was just an off, no, even like off of that. If it was like a family like convenience store that also rented tapes.
Yeah, King
Like-
Supers did that.
Yeah, King
I
Supers,
remember.
Yeah,
Yep.
you would go there, and you don't know jack crap about anything,
Right.
And you're literally just like, "Oh, my friend from school told me that this movie was cool."
It was all about the art.
And then you're like,
you
"Oh, they
judge
don't
it
they don't have that one." So then you pick out some random one, and you just give it a try.
Right.
And like we would do that with video games, like go down to play it or power play or something like that or whatever.
Power play.
And we would literally just like, this one looks cool, or somebody told me that this game's good, and you would just have to take that chance, and like you go down to the record store and you'd pick out a CD or a tape, and you're like, I don't know, this looks cool, and then you take it home and you listen to it 1,000 times because you have like 5 tapes.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of miss those risk taking of just like,
Yep.
you could do it on like Netflix and stuff. You could just play roulette or whatever. But there was a time where you had to like really invest in that. You had to like go to the place, buy the thing, rent the thing, and then take it home. And then like if it sucked, it sucked. And if it didn't, it didn't. And you're like, oh, like random discovery.
And if you forgot to return it, you had to pay $35 for
Also
stupid
true. Your
VHS.
stepdad gets really mad at you.
Yeah.
But like, and like a movie coming out of the theater, you had no idea when you would ever see that movie again. You're like, I love that movie. And then you're like, it could be a year, could be 2 years, could be 3 years before it's out on VHS for you to rent. You just don't know. And so I think that they got better with that over time. But there was a time when you're just like, I may never see this movie again. Kind of like when you watch like a Star Trek The Next Generation, you're like, I'll never see that episode again because I won't catch the replay in 3 years. So like just that, like
When you had to like open your schedule. Oh,
Yeah.
so Wednesday.
I
at 6.
got to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Like, you had to
I
be
explained
there.
that to Gabe recently.
Yeah.
Because we were watching a series, and I'm like, yeah, we just, we try to watch something we missed on reruns. He's like,
What?
what? What
Rerun?
does that mean?
Rerun?
Like
During the summer, like
Right.
when you want to be outside, but you have to be inside Wednesday at 6 because that's when the rerun of this episode was going to be on.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's if you have a TV guide or something like.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even like look at that. Like I'm just like, whatever's on, like Star Trek or whatever's on, like I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna see if I've already seen it. If I haven't, if it was like a multi-part episode and I just caught part 2 and never watched part 1, like you just never know what you're gonna get.
Oh, that reminds me of like MASH reruns. Oh, I love those growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, just loved it.
So, anyways, having older brothers, I was probably exposed to pretty much every weird '80s movie, and boobies. Yes. But my pick, out of this cloud, is '80s.
Nerds
movies.
was a good show too.
Yeah.
I
was just,
I don't think it's weird enough though. For
it's
this
not. It
category.
was not. No.
So, all right,
it had boobs though.
it did have boobs. They had some weird.
And the on space thing or like walking on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had weird they had like whole movies just about like trying to find boobs.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Porkies and all those.
Yeah.
Like the whole
It did need the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
But I feel like a movie like this it just wouldn't work today. But mine is 1988's They Live. And so
What?
No?
Really?
Yeah. So They Live basically follows the wrestler Rowdy Roddy Piper, and through he finds some sunglasses. He puts them on, and he realizes that aliens have invaded Earth, and so there's people who have skull faces, and then there's all the advertising that actually are subliminal. They say like obey and buy and procreate and whatever. And I remember watching that as a kid, and I was like absolutely freaked out by the skull face aliens. They were just so like
freaky.
They
Yeah,
were so weird. And like, so it's just his journey and basically trying to save the world from these aliens that are gonna, basically dominate and take everything over. But it's just so out of left field for
it's
when I'm like, I think I was 9 years old in 1988, so it was just like, this is weird. Like, and I never saw it in the theater or anything, so I probably watched it a year or two later. But yeah, that movie is, in that weird category. It's definitely up there for me.
They were creepy looking too.
They were.
Yeah.
It was all black and white.
Yep.
Like, or the when he has the sunglasses on.
They Live is all black and white.
No, just when he
that-
puts on his sunglasses. Like the aliens and stuff are in black and white, and some obviously iconic things that come from that, and yeah, I mean, if you look at the weird Dark Crystal was like up there on my list.
Yep.
Definitely Beetlejuice.
There you go.
Beetlejuice is such a weird movie.
Yes.
That it could only be in the 80s,
Full Metal Jacket was 80s.
Yeah,
That's not a weird movie.
That's not weird. It's an amazing film that I hated. and now I absolutely love it. I think it's great.
We'll talk about that in our 80s war movies.
It's a pretty good one.
But yeah, so there's a whole cloud of just weird 80s movies, and I think we probably named the majority of them as Josh went through the list there.
There was Never Ending Story.
Yep.
That was another.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's just a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some interesting fantasy stuff, but I wouldn't classify it as weird necessarily. It was fantasy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The dog was awesome. I always wanted the dog. I wanted the dog to be mine. The dog.
Dog, dragon, flying
Yeah.
thing. Like
Gremlins, we already said
Gremlins is great.
We said that already. You read
I mean, you've got like the Star Wars and your Back to the Future and all those, but those are the
those
are the pillars of 80s.
Right.
the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I did. I did watch that.
Insanity.
Isn't Men at Work?
In fact, I got in trouble for watching that because Mom thought it would be corrupt my soul.
It did.
Too late.
Yeah, it's already corrupted way before that.
Mom, I love you and all, but yeah, you're too late.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that we picked some good ones out of the insanity. Like Killer Clowns was like one of the first ones that came to mind because it's like, who would make that movie these days? Like nobody.
Yeah, because you have to follow a formula and you have to try to get it on. If you can't make it in the movie theaters, as we've experienced the last couple of years, then you have to make it on a streaming service. Right. They're going to reject you because it's too weird.
And you would have to, you would. It would just, it just wouldn't work. And like, I mean, everything now is kind of just rebooting from the weird '80s movies. You know?
I mean, there was this.
Well, apparently, Short Circuit's going to get a reboot.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
that could be interesting.
Oh, Men at Work is like 2002. Never mind. I thought that was
Men at Work,
like the cokehead, Sheen.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That was I like the.
Are you talking about weird movies anymore? Or you're just talking about movies.
Oh, I thought that was an '80s movie, but it's not even close.
No, that was '90s. Red
2002.
Dawn. Men at Work?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
it just said that. I was like, what? Oh, '90s.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Red Dawn was another one of my favorite 80s movies. That's probably one. Like I say, my favorite movie a lot because I just have so many. But that one, that remake. Oh, that would be a great, really interesting. What's the best remake of a classic movie?
ooh.
Yeah. Red Dawn would not be one of them.
I was gonna say, is that
For so
is
many
that
reasons.
actually possible?
We'd have to think about that. Let us know what you think. Maybe we can make that.
Is there like?
Are there, like, how many actual remakes are there that are like
Too many.
not like rebooted into something totally different?
Well,
But like,
pretty
common,
What
like-
was the one? Oh gosh, what's her name?
I don't know.
What's the famous singer girl with the big nose?
Lady Gaga.
Shakira.
Lady Gaga. What was the movie that she was just in? Because that's a remake. That was remade for the third time.
The Gucci movie.
No, the one that she played with.
If Lady Gaga was in it, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching it.
I have to pull it up now.
That's a small
A Star is Born. That was
Oh.
made 3 different times.
I don't know. I never watched it.
It's actually a decent movie. It's decent how they reinterpreted it this time.
Nice.
So there are movies out there that we could probably find. It might have to take some research, but that would be a fun one. That might be a fun one to do too. Let us know what you guys think.
You know, it's a really good 1917, the World War I.
1914.
I think it's 17.
Is it 17?
Yeah, that's such a
it's
good movie.
Yeah.
That was like
Did that come out in the 80s?
no, it's a new
a
one.
couple years ago.
Yeah, but
We're just talking about movies now.
It's just an amazing you see all these movies. And it was a really good like take on like World War One. I enjoyed it. Or
Not a
They
ton of
Lived.
World War I movies that are
They
good.
Lived, or We Lived, or They Lived, which is all the colorized of World War One stuff.
Oh.
Was really, really cool too.
Good to know.
Not that it's
No,
80s, but
it is interesting.
it's before 80s to be
Yeah,
honest.
a lot more.
It is actually interesting to hear you talk about things you actually like. Versus
What?
things that
I
you
know.
don't like.
This whole time has
Wait,
been
I
about
just
things
thought
that
of
he likes.
another one.
Uh-oh.
And I think
It's like talking to an old man. Like, you know what else? You know what? You know what movie I saw the other day?
Did it have boobies? I'm not interested.
it's 80s.
Okay.
War movie.
Okay.
Civil War. Glory.
Glory.
Oh, yeah.
That's 80s?
That's 89.
89.
That's such a good.
That-
That's brutal.
We watched
Yeah.
Glory in high school, I think.
Did you?
Yeah. We watched that.
Such a brilliant movie.
It is really stinking good.
Yeah.
It's a bit much, but
Note to self: don't get hurt in the 1800s.
No.
You
No,
will
no,
die
no.
of gangrene
Yes.
of all kinds.
of everything. I mean, their solution was bite this stick. I
Yes.
got a saw.
I got a saw.
Oh, you got a scratch on your
Coming
leg.
off.
Bite this stick.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
That's
Don't
my-
worry. It's fine. Your baby toe is fine. We're gonna amputate just above the knee.
Yes.
You'll be
Yes.
good.
right at your hip, and we might take off your junk when we're at it.
We don't know. We
Whoops.
may-
Slipped a little bit. Oh, tell him he was shot in the nuts when he
I've
wakes up.
cut off 14 limbs today, and it's only 6:32 in the morning. So
They did get good at that.
yeah, it's another like it's a.
It's another weird 80s movie.
All right, just
You know
super
what?
weird.
It's if you did like I had a teacher that was Civil War teacher, and so like everything got
You had a
Wrapped
Civil War class?
wrapped up into how we could talk about the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And so I learned a ton from that, and Eric knows who I'm talking about. And it made me get an appreciation to like look into it and know the history, or learn some of the history of it. And like when I was starting to date Wendy, we went to a Colorado, the Denver History Museum.
Okay.
Had a Civil War. And I was like, hey, this looks really interesting. Let's go. And she's like, what's this about?
American Civil War. This
And
is
she had,
dumb.
she had no idea. She was like, I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I'm just like,
Why would she get taught about
who the
Civil
hell?
War? Yeah.
And exactly, it's because raised in a different time, but then I had a teacher that was like, you know,
Civil War.
I'm sorry, I'm late. You know who was late in the Battle of blah blah blah? You're like, oh, okay, well,
I like talking about war.
15 minutes later, I've learned something about this guy being late, and that was good because this and that. And what's her history class? Oh, we're gonna continue this. Okay, that's fine. Like he was just that was how he worked.
Right.
But yeah, so that's
I just listened to this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Paul, so we have Labyrinth, we have Batteries Not Included, and we have
oh yeah, we're gonna rate, eh?
that thing that I said. I don't remember.
Although I want to find, I want to like see yours.
Oh, they Live. You haven't watched They Live?
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking
We
about.
should watch it. I swear to God, we should watch this thing live with Josh.
Yeah.
Why?
Because just watching you react to 80s movies,
You're gonna have to bring your lab mics.
it's pretty high on my list. It'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty
it's such
funny.
a weird.
All right,
So
Paul,
weird.
you're up.
For weird factor, I'd say that They Lived would be way up there.
Yeah.
Are we rating this our favorite of the three or weirdness?
Or like
I think it's
maybe
all
it's like I've never even heard of it. It exists.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite of the three would be Batteries Not Included.
really.
Yeah.
So that's your number one.
I guess, I'm doing the pulling of Josh apparently.
Okay, so if we watch They Live with Josh,
Yeah.
I think you have to watch Batteries Not Included with me because I can't remember anything about that movie.
Right.
Really? Like when he's like walking on the
Stove.
Yeah, like it's so good.
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it.
Yep.
Or I don't remember.
All right. Yeah. So 3 would have to be They Lived because it's.
I'm so intrigued because you like
It wasn't my. It just wasn't my favorite. Wasn't a good movie.
All right.
But I get it. Like I get that. Like because there was so many movies that my family we would just rewatch over and over and over
Sure.
and over and over.
That wasn't one of them?
No,
Oh,
it
weird.
was not.
So the
Actually,
plot, they
Labyrinth
put-
wasn't either.
So it's special sunglasses that shows him what's truly going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, people among them are aliens, but he, like, takes the glasses off. They look like normal people. He puts them on, and they're, like, weird, like, skull alien things. And then, like, he looks at the billboard, and it's just, like milk is good. And he puts on the glasses, and it says, like, obey your masters or something like that. So it's like aliens have infiltrated our society, and without the sunglasses, you don't know about it. So he has this giant fight with the other the other character, like this black guy. I don't remember his name though. Yeah. They have this iconic like 5-minute long fight about like put on these glasses. No, and they have like this like protracted like Family Guy Peter fighting the chicken fight.
Ooh.
And at the end, he like the like Rowdy Piper like beats him down. And then like forces the sunglasses on the guy's head and like makes him look at the stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I see now." Like
and then they're best friends, and he's at his wedding.
Yeah, and then they like go and fight the aliens together. So,
Right.
So yeah, it's just a wild movie.
It seems like it's the wrong way. Like everyone should have to wear the glasses to get the fake facade.
I don't know.
Not like the reverse. Like you put glasses on, you get to see the real.
No, because you're living in the fake.
Yeah. Everybody's walking around. They have no idea that there's aliens.
It's the Matrix.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, Paul was
intrigued.
ranking.
Yeah. So
They Live number 3.
They Live number 3. My movie, which was Labyrinth,
Yeah.
is number 2.
I was going to say
Batteries Not
Goonies was
Included.
pretty good. Wait, that was
Goonies.
I did mention a bunch of movies.
Goonies, Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Baby.
Was Look Who's Talking? That must have been
I think that was 90s.
mid 90s. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a weird movie.
Throw Mama from the Train. No.
Yeah,
Josh, you're up.
Good movies in the 90s too.
yeah, totally.
We'll do those.
Yours is number 3, but I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go find it. I'm so intrigued
You should.
at the bad 80s, but that's fine. I like Labyrinth. Really good.
Yeah,
And I like Batters. They're so like
they're completely polar.
yeah,
opposites.
one is like the fantasy realm, which I'm like, hey, I like that, and then the other is the techie nerdy. Like I wish we had this advanced tech.
Yeah.
Like the 80s made it look like everything was going to be so amazing by like
Yes.
95.
Yeah.
And here we are in 2021,
Yes.
22, and we're like,
Alexa,
turn off the lights.
send the vacuum out to vacuum. Okay.
You
It
know,
got stuck again.
yeah, like the vacuum ran over the dog poop again. It's everywhere.
Smear trail. Oh. What you gonna do, Joshua?
It's really hard.
It is because I'm gonna go Batteries Not Included 2 and Labyrinth 1
Interesting.
Wow.
for the fact Jennifer Connelly.
Ah,
Yes.
good call.
Applause.
Applause.
Thank you.
Dang
Yes.
it, can I switch now?
I mean, I'm going only on that because when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Jennifer Connelly.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, she could she could probably walk downstairs like, bye.
Well,
Yes, no, I've always thought
how do we
she's.
salvage this one?
No, I don't care. I've always been, and I was like, oh shit.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that's my go-to.
Anson.
Anything with Jennifer Connelly, you're just gonna go number 1.
No, but I mean that was how I was gonna treat this one because they're both in the wheelhouse of great.
Ooh, that could be a '90s weird movie with Jennifer Connelly.
She says weird ones.
All right.
It's just good when she rides.
And
a
if you
horse.
can name it right now, I'll give you a popcorn kernel.
Great.
Can you?
What?
No. A weird 90s movie with Jennifer Connelly in it.
The mall one.
No.
Okay.
No. Wasn't she in Dark City? With her?
Oh, that was horrible.
No, that movie was good.
If it's what I'm thinking of, it was horrible.
No, it was good.
Maybe I need to watch it again.
Jennifer Connelly.
That's why.
Go ahead and read yours.
Yeah. So, okay. Number 3, batteries not included. I am 99.87% sure that I haven't watched it,
Which is valid.
but I do want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now that you guys are like, it's your number 1, it's your number 2, it's wholesome, blah blah blah. Is Jennifer Connelly in it?
No.
No.
She's not dead.
Dang it! Oh, that's right. There's only 2 people alive in it. It's like Wilford Brumley. No.
Oh, she was in The Rocketeer.
Oh yeah, Rocketeer was good.
Rocketeer was good. She's apparently in Snowpiercer, which that's new.
Can I rank mine or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2. I'm going to reverse though these. So I'm going to go number 2. They Live.
Okay.
And number 1, I will go with Labyrinth because it was in that cloud of ideas that I really liked. I did not choose it because Paul chose it, but I don't think it would have hit my number 1. But it's still pretty much iconic. Like when I remember my childhood in the 80s, Labyrinth came out of left field and was weird as crap. And I still want to do like the David Bowie like crystal ball, move.
Right. Yeah.
Which apparently wasn't him. It was a guy.
It was a guy putting his arm through.
Yeah.
What?
And he had to do it blind.
Don't talk like. Don't ruin it.
Yeah. It was an Asian dude too.
Oh.
I just happened to see a video on that just a couple days ago.
Yep. So yeah, those are my top 3. So, all right. You guys want to get off your phones and close this up or what?
No, I'm looking at. I'm
I was looking at
Jennifer
Jennifer
Connelly
Connelly.
movies.
Oh, she's only 50.
I know, but
Top
she's,
3 Jennifer Connelly movies. Go.
the one where she's in. Well,
Labyrinth, The Mall, Dark City. Okay, done.
no, she has one like.
She has one that what?
I don't know.
Well,
She's in Rocketeer is good. Career Opportunity is she's on the horse, which is a great
Iconic.
gift.
Iconic. Yes.
Yep. She was in Just Not Into You.
This
Just
is
Not
going
Into You or something like that.
This is going into weird left
She
field.
was Dark City.
It's going into his fantasy.
I know
wanna
when she
be-
was. Wait, what year was Dark City though?
98. And yes, I went to the movies with Angie to see this, and I left and going, "What the did I just watch?"
Because you didn't like Angie.
Yeah,
Because the
that's
people-
exactly it. Like it's
I know.
been 7 years of just like,
That was at the end though.
no, this is
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
very early. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, Anson,
Hey Paul.
where can we find you on the socials?
At Young Anson on Instagram.
Sweet. Josh?
Conley at top3.show.
Oh, man. You can find me at Paul Precise pretty much everywhere. And you can find our show at top3.show.
You can find Josh's stuff on his front lawn.
Tomorrow. Real soon.
She won't care. She'll be like, "You go at it," because that chassis is older than hers. So
She'd be
it's
like,
fine.
"Good luck, get Jennifer Connelly."
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, by the way, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That's legit, but
Legit. That's legit. That's legit.
Legit. I'm legit going back to the crab.
it legit like
I will legit like a legit.
That was legit.